Here are 10 items every Airbnb needs. No matter who you are on the planet, if your Airbnb doesn't have this stuff, you just won't make as much. As a host with over 25,000 stays, I can tell you exactly what a guest wants, what they don't care about, what you can save money on, but what you need to spend big on. All 10 of these matter. Do not miss a second of this video. Number 1, and this one is more important than ever before because Airbnb updated their search UI to accommodate this one item. It's long overdue, and that is a king bed. If you go to search on Airbnb and go to filters and scroll down under features along where they have things like smoking allowed, you now can checkbox for a king bed. This has never been done before until finally 2023. For 6 years, I've taught all of my students to write it in the title because there was nowhere else to flex that you have a king bed. I did a different video on how to update your listing for this. Watch that video later. But let's get into the other 9. Number 2 has a couple ways to get this done, but you need a good light source and a good mirror. I recommend an easel mirror, one that can get moved around next to a big window, but you also want big, cold light. You can have a clip-on ring light that goes onto the mirror. You need somewhere where a woman can sit on the floor or sit on the chair and do her makeup. This is 100% a do not miss. And that means if your bathroom does not have good lighting, you should fix that too. Along with a good big mobile mirror, have one of the handheld flip ones too that go 5x. They'll love that as well. Number 3 isn't just one product, it's a whole thing, and it's your coffee station. All of you have coffee, but you're not doing it right. I want you to memorize something, and it rhymes, makes it easy to remember. 1 out of 3, decaf or tea. Say it with me, 1 out of 3, decaf or tea. What that means is 1 out of every 3 Airbnb travelers prefers to drink decaf coffee or tea. Regular is not good enough. And in order to build out a great coffee station without breaking the bank, what I like to do is buy wide mouth mason jars, put labels on the top, and I'll have a cup for coffee, cup for decaf, cup for creamer, cup for sugar, and one that holds tea packets as well. I've got a station of those and a Tupperware container for the coffee filters. Then I have the coffee machine and an electric water kettle. And then maybe a little flour. And if you don't have a lot of counter space, put it on a tray that can get moved around. So somebody can unplug it, pick it up, move it somewhere else, and they can get to cooking. Speaking of, that brings us to number 4. Remember this always. The one thing that you have that a hotel will never have is a fully stocked kitchen. I don't care how expensive that hotel room is. They might give you a kitchenette with a little fridge and 2 burners, maybe 2 burners and an oven, but I've never seen, in my history of staying at hotels, I've never seen one that gives you great pots and pans, cutting board, strainer, can opener, wine opener, and all the fixings, everything you could ever want, including like a cheese board, and with a 4-burner stove and a double oven and a microwave and a full-size fridge. They just don't give you that. The reason why is hotels have banked on the fact that most of their guests are transient. They're not from here, they're gonna go eat at restaurants. One of the cool things about traveling is food tourism. But Airbnbs, because of all that square footage, naturally give you this competitive advantage, which means you get a different customer than hotels get. Airbnbs always will. And bringing the heat in the kitchen is one way to guarantee that you get families that book, people that will respect your home because they value your home for what it provides. There will come a day when your Airbnb is not booked, but it gets booked because you showed great photos of your kitchen, and there's another Airbnb down the street with better design, but they did not communicate in the photos well enough that they have a family-ready kitchen. Here's another phrase for you that rhymes, so you'll remember this. If you don't show it, the guest won't know it. Thank you, TJ, for that one. I heard him say that in a clubhouse once. If you don't show it, the guest won't know it, which means everything that you have that's amazing about your Airbnb needs to go in the photos. 5, you need an angle. Yeah, can you buy an angle? Yes, you can buy an angle. Here's what I mean. An angle is an underserviced amenity. You can either be ADA accessible, disabled parking space, no ramp up to the front door, no step in the front door, 36-inch wide doorways, things like that. That is a level 1 ADA. Room to get around the bed. This is something that increases your searchability by 400% in most cities. If you can't do that, have a gym or an EV charger. You want something that makes you more searchable than everybody else. That is your angle. Number 6, you need one of these 3 depending on your size. A supplies bin, a supplies closet, or supplies unit. For apartments, studios, places with not a lot of square footage, there's these little bins you can buy for $30 or $40 that have little holes where you can lock them with luggage locks. I did a video on that years ago. We still use those to this day in combination with units, like storage units. If you have houses where you can have a maid closet with a keyless entry on the door, that works too. both of those become your localized storage solution for restocking things. Remember that coffee station we talked about? You're gonna have a larger supply of coffee in the closet or in the bin. You're gonna have extra sheets, extra towels, all the backup stuff, spare batteries for the TV. In a storage unit, if you have enough units like we do, you'll have spare TVs in case one gets broken or stolen. You need a supply solution. And in a studio apartment, you don't need 6 sets of sheets and 20 towels. A little bin can hold 4 towels and 1 king-size set of sheets. It can have your turn in a box. Yes, it's basically a turnover in a box. You can even have cleaning supplies in there if you'd like to. Whenever they get their paycheck, we restock their cleaning caddy. We pay our housekeepers by the hour every week. We have a video on that as well. If you're ever curious about our cleaning system, you can use that too. But that bin can have a little bit of extra cleaning supplies just in case. And that brings number 7. A lot of hosts, they slouch on this. You should supply cleaning supplies. For some reason, hosts don't like leaving much of those because guests will overuse them or steal them. And that is the thing. Yes, we can confess, guests take stuff. If you give them a full bottle of something really nice, they'll take it. So be careful. We have started putting all our shampoos and conditioners and body washes in smaller pump containers, so that way we don't give them a 32-ounce full. Right? We have solutions for this as we've gotten bigger. And now the same thing happens with a branded Clorox or branded Windex. They'll take those. But we've noticed if you buy from Home Depot those clear label-less bottles and put cleaning in there and say Windex written on it or Clorox bathroom cleaner written on it, they maybe don't believe you that it's a brand name or they don't care. And so if you don't want this stuff getting stolen, just take the labels off or buy the clear bottles. This really helps your cleaners when they arrive. Some guests will clean if you don't make it a pain in the butt. They'll do their own dishes, they'll wipe down the counters, they will be super nice. Now, since we pay by the hour, that leads to a faster clean and a lower cost turnover for us. It just makes perfect sense. And number 8, you need extras of everything. For example, parking passes. We have apartments where people need to park in a specific spot, and if they don't show a parking pass, they would get towed. Happens. So we print off these laminated parking passes that they use. Normally, these apartment complexes want people to use a decal, but we have to negotiate to change that. We are allowed to use a laminated card, and when somebody loses that laminated card, takes it with them, leaves it in their enterprise rental car, we have some in that same bin I told you about. We have extra parking passes in that bin locked away, so that way we can just pull another one, and the next guest doesn't have a snafu. That's an extra. You need extra batteries for the TV. Like I said, if you have enough units, you need an extra TV. You need extra sheets, extra towels, extra cleaning supplies. You'll need extra plates, cups, bowls, wine glasses. When things break, you need to be able to pull them fast and get them to a guest. This level of prevention alone will save your housekeepers from pulling out their hair and quitting on you one day because you won't make them go to Walmart and Target and at home to buy all these little things in their cleaning. This level of control will matter. And number 9 seems obvious until you've stayed in a few Airbnbs. We've talked about the king bed, but we didn't talk about quality. One of the biggest complaints that people have about their Airbnbs is that the host slouched on the bed and the pillows. A cheap bed and cheap pillows make a terrible night's sleep, and it's the fastest way to not get a 5-star review. I do not care how beautiful your Airbnb is. If you make a guest sleep on a bad pillow, you will not get a 5-star review. Hands down, 100% of the time you will not get it because you didn't spend an extra $10 and they know it. That is where they will hit you on your reviews. And the other applies. If your Airbnb is a little basic, because you're a price leader per se, you didn't do so good with your design, people can forgive that you're not good at design. They expect you to be an Airbnb host, not somebody from Better Homes and Gardens. They will forgive lackluster design. If your bed is comfy, your sheets are nice, your pillows are nice, it's a good night's sleep, they will let it slide because at the literal end of the day, they are there to sleep and you don't want to mess with that. And number 10, we are skipping over all the basic stuff that a lot of you smarties want to say. Sure, there's a couch. Sure, there's a TV. Sure, there's a dinner table. Sure, there's patio furniture. Sure, there's a rug on the floor. There's plants. Duh. Okay, cool. There's artwork. Yes. Number 10, you need a suite of technologies to run your property the right way. You need keyless entry, one that you can at least change the codes from an app on your phone, or even better yet, have it run through a software, like a channel manager when you get big enough. I have a favorite door lock that I did a video on back when we first launched in Austin. They've since dropped the price on their technology like $40. I will leave you a link in the description or comments somewhere for that door handle. The app is lovely, it's easy. You also need something to monitor noise, smoking, etc. Because if a guest throws a party, you need to know about it. If a guest is smoking, you need a way to prove it. Because without the proper technology, you would have to find a cigarette butt or ashes to get paid Airbnb's smoking fee. And if a guest says that the place smells like smoke, you can prove that it wasn't your fault if there is no smoke detected from your smoke detector thing. There are two. You can use Minute or you can use WYND. Either one works. They both do noise and smoke detection now. You'll love those. And the underdog in the tech space, this will matter if you go direct one day, which we'll talk about plenty in the future. You need a way to capture emails from your guests. I recommend something called STAYFI. When a guest tries to access your Wi-Fi, instead of getting your router modem thing, they'll get this STAYFI device. And it acts like a middleman where somebody has to put in their email first to get access to the internet. That way that goes in a database, you can retarget them later, invite them to stay one more time, use their email in a list like a lookup table helps you to run more cost competitive ads, stuff like that. And with those 10 out of the way, I recommend the next video you watch is my old video on the kitchen. It's a wonderful video because I think out of these 10, the kitchen may be one of the very most important ones. Let me know how you like this video in the comments. I publish a couple videos a week, all aimed at helping you run the best Airbnb business that you can run. So yes, hit that bell so you don't miss a single one. Thank you so much for watching this video as always. I'll see you on the other side.